Today we will discuss topics related to jury instructions and deliberation during a criminal trial. After each side has presented its case and closing arguments, the judge gives the jury a bunch of instructions. Jury instructions explain to the jurors how they're allowed to interpret the evidence presented during the trial when deciding whether someone is guilty of a crime. They also outline the requirements for reaching a verdict in the case.
Where do these instructions come from? Both the prosecuting attorney and the defense attorney propose their versions of the jury instruction to the judge. The judge then makes a ruling on which instructions will be given to the jury before they move to a private place to deliberate.
Are the instructions always the same? No, not necessarily. However, many courts use a model for civil and criminal jury instructions in order to eliminate the chance of judges giving inaccurate instructions to the jury, which can become an issue on appeal.
What happens after the jury is given instructions from the judge? The jury then begins a process called jury deliberation. Jury deliberation is the process by which the jury discusses, in private, the information that has been presented to them during the course of the trial, and then decides whether the state has met its burden of proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the person accused of the crime is actually guilty of the charge. During this process, the jurors weigh all of the evidence and information presented during the trial. Using this information, the jurors talk about their opinions of guilt or innocence, and eventually the group must reach a unanimous decision. That means they all have to agree.
What happens if the jurors can't all agree on whether the person is guilty or not? If the jury tells the judge that they can't agree on a verdict, the judge can ask them to keep trying. But if they still can't agree, even after extensive debate and discussion, then this results in what's called a hung jury, which means that the jury could not agree on whether the accused person was guilty of the alleged crime. If this happens, then the judge declares a mistrial, and the prosecution can then decide whether they want to attempt to retry the case.